I went to boot camp in San Diego, so I'm a Hollywood Marine. Training in Pendleton. And my first duty station was El Toro, Marine Corps Air Station El Toro in Orange County. And from there, June of '68, I got orders, and I got to Vietnam in October. And so I was with the 3rd Marine Air Wing the first year and a half after boot camp, and then the 1st Marine Division for not quite, just a little under 12 months. Marine tour was usually 13, but I wrote for a school cut.
Sorry?
I wrote for a school cut almost as soon as I got there. And University of Minnesota thought I might do better, so I came back. It took me 7 years to finish 2 quarters of work. So I'm not the brightest bulb on the string.
No. So, what was your opinion of the war going into it?
I thought it was stupid, and I thought it made no sense. When I was asked if I was interested in being an officer, I said, any more time? Did you want any more time from me? And they said, maybe a year. I said, not interested. And there was the part of me that said, I'm not sure I want to have any kind of tactical responsibility. And that sort of would come with being an officer. And I thought, enlisted's good, 6 years is good, then I'm done. Contract's over. I came back and smoked dope for 7 years, and like I said, finished my 2 years or 2 quarters of college. And then I moved back and lived with my dad for his last 8 years. And during the last 3 or 4 years of that time, I helped the Mental Health Association in North Dakota create a place we call the Vietnam Veteransville, which kind of turned out to be kind of the intake point for the Vet Center, which was located in Minot, North Dakota. And that was very interesting. A lot of good stuff came out of that. What I've seen so far, it's okay. It's not exciting, but there are a few words that I kind of would quibble with at this point. But that's kind of like finding the copy error in the book. And my T-shirt tells it that the title's wrong. Vietnam is a country, not a war. And that seems pretty clear. And I'm much more comfortable saying the American war in Vietnam, since I don't recall Vietnam ever attacking us. And I know the whole issue, well, we were supposed to stop communism. And I thought, isn't that interesting? We were attacking and trying to overcome an idea. When in college they talked about, the marketplace of ideas, and yet we're going to win the argument with guns. And I thought, oh, well, yeah, that's not very good. Now we're, of course, attacking just a style or a technique that the vulnerable and voiceless have no other choice but to use terrorism. And so I'm not sure what kind of warring this is, and to me, that's the problem. I don't think, there's lots of questions in my mind going back through a lot of our wars. And the first one I looked at that caused me great concern was Korea, and looking at Vietnam is pretty troubling too. But the slip slide ride into the swamp. Well, yeah, my perspective is that it was a deeply, I want to make it as light as unfortunate, but I think it's really kind of criminal, some of the stuff that happened. Once they kind of created a country and pulled the guy out of a school and made him the president and let him do all that stuff, you kind of go, well, I guess that's what happens though when we have kind of secrecy in a democracy, which is, you know, I think the laws that created the CIA and such secret organization are very problematic, and I think, you know, we keep looking at fluff in our politics, not at substance, and that's too bad.